today we're fixing someone else's problem. Their installation failed. They did not follow the manufacturer instructions. And I want to show you what happens when you do that. When you don't follow manufacturer instructions, your floors, in this case, the customer bought vinyl planks, which are supposed to be waterproof. Okay. If you look over here, we've got a floor that is warping pretty badly all throughout the floor. It's up and down, up and down. And we can see here that this floor is still waterproof, 100%. It has never lost its waterproof properties. So what's happening here? Well, first of all, these floors are not intended to be water indestructible, okay? And they are affected by water. So if you get a flood, if you get a leak, if you get standing water, what that's going to do to the floor is exactly what you see here. It's going to create pressure on top of the floor and pressure underneath the floor. Different temperatures, the floor starts to warp because it's being pulled many times by pressure from the AC, many times by pressure from moisture leaving the floor. So that creates this warping that damages the floor. Is it waterproof? It's still waterproof, 100%. We drill a hole through this, as you can see the core is waterproof. So the waterproof properties in that sense have not changed. And this is a big problem in the industry because when the customer hears waterproof, they immediately think 100% protection from water, and that's not the case. Another thing that happened with this installation is that they did not use, as you can see, they did not use a 6 mil minimum plastic underlayment. There's nothing underneath. Okay. So it saves you some money, but that's not a good idea because you want to isolate this substrate. You want to isolate it from the back of this floor. Okay. Another problem that happened here, this was the biggest problem that caused the floor to fail. Another problem was that although this does not need acclimation according to the manufacturer, here in Florida, with the humidity in the garage and a 35-degree differential that the customer had that day, it was about 100 outside in the garage, and the AC was set up at 68 in the house. That's a big problem. That's too much temperature changes. That even affects products like carpet, where carpet does not need to be acclimated, but it really expands the carpet. So when you put it together and it reduces in size, it causes a lot of problems. So it's good to get floors that claim certain warranties, but you need to become aware of what they are, because salespersons might tell you, yes, you can do whatever you want. You can put it in the pool, you can put it in the pool bath, you can put it in the kitchen. All these things are true, but it needs to be installed correctly, and you need to be aware that if you have a flood, if you have water underneath, all these things will make your floor fail under those circumstances. And at worst, you can get mold underneath your floor. So keep that in mind as you come to Superior Floors. We'll definitely show you the ins and outs of how to get these floors installed correctly. Just a couple of things more about what happens. Well, here we're installing some tile, which is 100% waterproof, and you'll never have the kind of issues that we're seeing here today. If you look at the floor, you'll see all those water marks. This floor was completely wet underneath. Mold had not grown, okay, but moisture was being trapped. This happens sometimes with AC units that are more powerful, that they are extracting from the substrate, from the concrete. They're extracting moisture, and this floor is actually keeping it in there. So it's good that they got it in time. It smells wet still, okay. But it was going to create mold underneath that floor. There's a few things that I want to show you that are being done that are wrong. Here's an example. This flooring was done first, and for some reason then they laid this on top of the floor. Okay, that goes against the manufacturer's installation instructions. You don't want to put heavy stuff and not let that floor move. That's not allowed in the installation instructions. This will fail any warranties. And there's another place that happened in the kitchen. A sample that I pulled it wouldn't come out completely. And the reason why it wouldn't come out is because it's underneath the cabinets. That's a huge no-no for this type of installation. You can't put your cabinets on top of the flooring, because although these floorings have very little expansion, that little expansion can't make the floor fail because you're being held down by the cabinets. So if you look at the documentation, it's going to say don't install cabinets on top of the floor. Okay, you want to have that little gap and then your shoe molding, your scribe, or your quarter round to finish that cabinet. Here you can visualize the warping that is all over the floor. You can see there, perhaps the whole floor is like this. It's terrible.